Yo. What up? Hi, it's me. What's going on? Happy Thursday. I'm pretty sure it's Thursday. I had a bunch of work I gotta do, which I will be doing after this stream, but, you know, it's fine. It's whatever. I am a busy boy. I am one busy boy. I got some cool art done today. I'll be posting that soon if you guys are interested in taking a look at it. But, alas, here we are. This below you is one of the things that I have to finish doing. I gotta update these for this year. Or for this month. Okay, if you want your name showing up here and my eternal, I don't know, something, gratitude? Whatever. Become a member for $1. Patreon also exists. Patreon's gonna get some more stuff coming up today as well. But yeah, other than that, are we ready to go? So, I got this video that I was promised that Moose on the Loose is actually a smart dude. He leans into the... He's not an extremist, though. He's definitely not an extremist. He's just a normal guy who's got, like, good shit to say. And I was promised that this was the video that I gotta watch. Alright? That this is gonna... Because we only watched the one video, and you know what? Maybe that wasn't a good representation. And it was like Joe Rogan, you know? Maybe he's just got a thing for Joe. I don't know. This was the one. This is the one I was told I needed to watch. Alright? So, are you ready? Are you guys ready? I put beer in the fridge. Promises are never guaranteed. The Maple MAGA people promised me that this guy was like their guy, that this was the dude, that Moose on the Loose was the dude to listen to for conservatives and for like putting their message across and for being like a smart guy who knows what's up. All right? This one will, yeah, this is the one that's going to win us over. This is what I was told. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I took 6 alpha brains. Should put the beer in the fridge, not on the fridge. Well, you know, it's fine. It's fine. Alright, are you guys ready? The donation bar is there and going, so if you want costumes, that's how you get costumes. Otherwise, should we unleash the spice? We haven't done a spice goal in a little while, actually. Let's do the spice goal. Want me to get the spices out? Let's do a goal. We haven't done ghouls? We haven't done ghouls in forever. We'll do 5. We'll do 5 super chats. 2 hours. Unleash the spice. And let me get the spices up here. Hello. Let's go. Let's go. There's our spice rack. All ready to go. So, if we reach the super chat goal, I will pick out one of these spices and consume it on stream. Is this guy from Alberta? No, apparently he's from British Columbia. Supposedly he's from British Columbia. I don't know very much details about him. This is the only time, this is the second video I've watched of his. So, you know, we'll see. Maybe I still got the questions written down off to the side. Let's get started. So this video is titled Unreal. Teens caught plotting simultaneous school attacks across Canada. FBI alert sparks arrests. This is from 3 weeks ago. We still haven't gone through his chart yet because, quite frankly, I fucking forgot about it. And this video has 77,786 views. Alright, so I'm not gonna pick on him for clickbait this time, unless it's really clickbait like it was last time. So as long as he actually talks about these things, I'll let it go. We'll be generous until I decide I'm not gonna be generous anymore. Alright. Okay. Go.
Well, Donald Trump is getting an education in real time on the importance of allies.
It almost happened again. Welcome back to Moose on Loose. My name's David. Today we have a plot that is...
I just think it's funny that his name is David. He's David from Canada. Guys, it's David from Canada. Okay.
been foiled. Teenagers, pew-pews, a school, the same sort of thing that just happened in Tumbler Ridge. We got Pierre Poilievre down in Texas meeting with TC Energy. We got an update from the Bank of Canada. We got a bunch of stuff here. Let's jump into this. Starting this episode off, we got some BC polling data coming from Main Street Research. We're seeing 31.7% for David Eby and 32% for the Conservatives. And keep in mind, this is the Conservatives without a proper leader. So this is a good piece of news we have in Canada. We need a Conservative stronghold somewhere. It would be nice if it's in my home province. And with that,
that has not fettered out so well. Again, this is from 3 weeks ago, right? That when that was? March 18th, and that is now April 9th. So yeah, there was another person crossed the floor into the Liberal government, and the most recent polling has Conservatives actually losing standing in the polls out west. Now, I don't know about British Columbia specifically as of today, but it's fine. Unfortunately for this guy, I guess. The polling numbers are not working out for him, but, you know.
We've got Angus Reid coming out with this. We've got the premier approval ratings here for March 2026, and there's some noticeable changes here. So first off, Wab Kineau's still sitting on top. Susan Holt has dropped a bit. She's in second place. We've got Scott Moe, Daniel Smith, and Tony Wakeham rounding out the middle section, and we see Tim Houston dropping 11 points, the biggest loser among the bunch. I don't know if it's
Yeah, that's a big drop. For anybody who doesn't know, he's Nova Scotia. He's the premier of Nova Scotia. He was the one we were talking about that made a deal with Doug Ford about free trading alcohol between Nova Scotia and Ontario. He's a Conservative guy. Whoop.
It's an eco-green wind power or what it is, but his approval plummeting. Someone else falling to near bottom here is David Eby and Doug Ford. Now, it's no surprise that Francois Legault is...
I'm pretty sure Eby is Conservative as well, is he not? Let me double check that, though. I want to make sure. I just want to double check. Yeah, this is definitely the right guy. Is he... I probably should have just looked up his name instead. List of premiers. That's probably better. Eby since 2022. Sorry, I'm just scrolling to the bottom. He is okay. He's Democrat. He's a new Democrat, so he is the Les Orange. He is Les Orange. All right, let's keep going.
At the bottom because of his whole scandal. If we scroll down here, we can see David Eby's approval rating here. Once 53% back in March of last year. In just 1 year, 53 to 37%. The reason for this is the Cowichan case. You've got the Vancouver Musqueam deal. First Nation land grabs. People don't want their houses stolen from them. They don't want rights stolen from them. They don't want uncertainty. David Eby will tank the BC NDP to the point where they will no longer be in government next time there is an election, which is one good piece of news coming out of Canada right now. And this is no...
Yeah, keep in mind that would be the premier election, not the federal election.
Surprise, as we got Brittany posting here, the BC NDP racking up a $13.3 billion deficit, paying $6.4 billion per year on interest in just British Columbia.
When families take out a mortgage, they understand...
Who's this guy?
Something simple. If you borrow money today, you're responsible for paying it back tomorrow. But the NDP government has taken out a massive mortgage on the future of this province. And are leaving...
I really don't like when people use banking analogies for governance. Like banking analogies as like an individual. Like, it's not a mortgage. It doesn't operate like a government for an entire province or for an entire country does not function the same way it does for any individual. Yeah, it's an investment. And so, like, the fact that every time... Why is it every time with these fucking people? Every single fucking time with these guys. We got, what, one in here right now that's super mad? It's okay, I've got my list of questions. First off, how did you find the stream? Second off, what is 5% of 20%? I'll move on. I'll move on to the next question if you can answer those two. All right. So I just don't like it because it's a bad analogy and it's misleading.
Giving it to your kids.
It's also mostly an appeal to emotion, to people's emotional stress, to like their personal finances. But anyway, sorry, go on.
A massive mortgage on the future of this province and are leaving it to your kids and mine to make those payments. This year.
Solbo Saint makes a good point in the chat too and says BC is trying to rebuild the absolute travesty of healthcare the previous leaders got us into. They're running a deficit because they have to. Sometimes you have to spend money to fix things that will make money. So if you want a really good example of this, lunches for kids in school, right? Let's say lunches for kids in school costs X amount of dollars, right? So you're running a deficit because it's not the government's job to make money. That's not what the government's job to do. It's not a business. It doesn't function like that, right? So and how does a government make money? How does a government have any money to spend? Taxes. It has money through taxes and through like trade economics, right? So if you want a government to have more money, then you need more people paying more taxes, right? So if a government wants to make a lot of money really, really fast, generally a government will raise taxes. Now, that is not the only way to do that. You could also, just start taxing rich people and make a whole lot of money really, really quick. Now, the other fucking option you have is to invest in something that is going to enable the people that you already have access to be able to make more money to then pay more in taxes. For example, a student being able to have a full stomach makes them a better student, makes them more educated, makes them more likely to have a good/better job, and makes them more successful. Therefore, they make more money. Therefore, they pay more in taxes than they would without it. It's really simple. The math has already been done. This has been tried. It functions and it pays back in dividends. For every, it's something crazy, for every percentage, you make triple. It's pretty fucking crazy. So I don't think they're able to answer the question. Spending too much can be a problem though, right? You have to balance it out. Now, whether or not they're going to be able to balance it out is a far more reasonable approach and a more reasonable way to ask the question and comes off as way less disingenuous, right?
This year's budget runs a $13.3 billion deficit, the largest ever recorded in BC's history. British Columbians will now be paying $6.4 billion.
I mean, it's a little bit silly to say that, it's the biggest in history because inflation is a thing that's going on. So, it's kind of silly to say that. It doesn't mean anything.
Every year, just in interest. And the interest payments build nothing. They don't build hospitals.
They build nothing. The interest payments don't build anything. This is so nonsense. So this is unga bunga, bigger tax number, worse. Yeah, it is very unga and it is very bunga. There are legit questions for Carney to answer. The MP who crossed the floor does have anti-choice voting record. Yeah, though there are legitimate things to criticize the NDP on, and there are legitimate things to criticize Carney on, and there are legitimate things to criticize the Conservatives on. It's just there's a really big sort of culty following where you can't question your own party, right? So you'll notice the majority of the Conservatives who come in here screeching aren't capable of being critical of their own group. It's a tribalistic problem, right? It's tribalism. And so, it's not good if you can't criticize your own group, right? if you can't do that. But most of this that's been said so far is just rhetoric that doesn't actually mean anything. Because, yeah, you can say that $6.1 billion of interest in what, a year? Is that a lot of interest? Based on what? There's no relative number. It's just this number sounds big, therefore it's wrong and scary. Because numbers are hard. Right? So,
They don't hire nurses, fix roads, or build new bridges. They simply cover the cost of the NDP's borrowing.
So this is a...
I will point... Though that's not quite how that works. But and the next question is who does British Columbia owe the money to? Who's British Columbia borrowing money from? Wow. wonderful. Like, he didn't even get through the whole video.
Disaster for the province, but we're seeing this disaster across every province. We're seeing deficits everywhere. There's one that's mostly focused on healthcare out of Saskatchewan, Alberta running deficits, same with maritime provinces. The Liberals have absolutely bankrupted this country. When you have good
But Nova Scotia, which is a maritime, is being run by the premier is conservative, and so is the conservative. So is Ontario. The Bloc is also considered on the right, not on the left. So if Ontario, Quebec, and at least one of the maritime provinces are all conservatives, and you're complaining that they're running a fucking deficit and they're running into debt, are you not then complaining that conservatives are running provinces into debt and it's not exclusive to one party or the other?
good paying jobs leaving the country, you have skilled workers leaving the country, everyone else has to pick up the bill. Moving ahead, we've got TC Energy CEO says Canada's energy projects
Wow, so he just said nothing about this. He brought this up and then proceeded to say nothing about it outside big number, bad, and scary, because the word deficit sounds scary to people. Running a deficit is only a problem if it's not money well spent. And sometimes you don't know whether or not money is being well spent until after the fact. Sometimes it's retroactive. And countries often run on deficit. Yeah, being in deficit as a country is not necessarily a very big deal. So, like, for example, if you look at the United States and you say, okay, how much debt does the United States owe to Canada? So if we were to take that debt off of Canada's deficit, how much deficit is there still? Just as an example, right? And, like, there's a reason why I'm asking some questions without actually just directly answering them myself. Because I know there's a handful of conservatives in here and a handful of conservatives that will, like, that'll show up in the comment section. I want you guys to tell me the answer. If you have such a big fucking problem with it, it's not hard to find how much money the United States owes Canada. Right? Yeah, no, there's no citations for any of this. He literally just put on a political ad and then talked about it like it was real without even questioning any of the shit in here. And all of his little fucking goobers decided to come over and just fucking, yeah, lib's bad. The end. Like, that's it.
approval still too slow despite Carney reforms. Well, of course, Carney didn't get rid of the 9 bad laws. We've got Pierre Poilievre here meeting with him, as we see. You notice Carney not going and meeting with...
Why would Carney go to meet with the Texas governor? Why would Carney go meet with the Texas governor? The dude is literally busy holding summits with the Nordic countries, the coalition there, and the EU, and fucking getting a massive fucking, what is it, 4-point-some-odd billion dollar investment from, like, Brazil or something crazy? I can't remember. We talked about it last time, but I forget what it was. Sorry, not what it was. I forget where it was. Indonesia. It was Indonesia, not Brazil. Ah, there we go. I don't know if Poilievre being buddy-buddy with Texas about energy is, like... You don't know how far away Texas is from Canada? It's on the opposite side. I don't know how this helps us at all. I feel like Pierre Poilievre doesn't know what his job is. He doesn't know what to do with his hands.
With the CEO of TC Energy or Enbridge or name a oil company. And we've got Pierre Poilievre.
Why do we care? I don't know why it's important that Carney... I'm fine with being critical of Carney. But Moose is not Dave, sorry, his name is Dave. Dave isn't here telling me why this is a problem. Why should Carney be going there? Why is that the expectation? Because it seems like the only reason you're criticizing Carney for not talking to these guys is because Pierre Poilievre is talking to these guys. But you're also not telling me why it's a good thing or why Pierre Poilievre should be talking to this guy. Like, Tell Elmo, could you explain, like, why this is important or why it matters?
No, tell Elmo.
Tell Elmo. Yeah, that's why he was on the Joe Rogan show, because he happened to be in Texas doing this, right? So, like, I just don't know why talking to these guys is useful to us as Canadians, right? And I feel like a conservative who is, like, saying, hey, yeah, you should vote for this guy, this thing is important, can you tell me why this is important and why it matters? I'm not saying it doesn't, I'm just saying it's kind of why I'm here. I'm here to hear you out as to why this is supposed to be the case. It's still winter. Yo, dog. There might be refineries in Texas that buy oil from Canada. Yeah, there very well might be. That would be fucking, yeah, there might be. That might be one of the reasons. It might be a good reason. If you're not gonna tell me what the reasons are, you're just gonna say unga bunga bad, unga bunga good. It doesn't tell me anything. Many different things can be true, yeah. Don't be a clown and go off of information you get from internet and from the internet and political grifters. Yeah, well, right. He's not giving me anything of substance. That's my criticism here. It's fine to me if he doesn't like. I don't give a shit if he likes Carney or not. I don't give a shit if he likes Poilievre or not. I don't care if he likes or dislikes the NDP, right? Like, his personal preference isn't what I'm here for. I'm here for the commentary. I'm here for the tell me why it matters, right? And yeah, what's the point? If the goal for Canada is to move into renewable energies, why do we care about negotiating with Texas? And especially if from my understanding, Canada is trying to take a leadership role, then why would, when it comes to being, like, quote unquote, an energy superpower, right? Because that's Carney's rhetoric, right? He uses this rhetoric to say that Canada is in a position to be an energy superpower and provide energy to the world, blah, 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 right? Which is a rhetoric, of course. If that's the case, why would Carney need to go to Texas? Even if Texas is going to buy oil from Canada, he would want Texas to come to Canada and negotiate on our terms, not on their terms, and it would be a little bit silly to do otherwise with all the tariff nonsense going on, wouldn't it? Like, wouldn't that be, like, a little bit fucking silly? Like, we can't, yeah, like, what are we negotiating with Texas? Or, like, this particular, because it's not even, like, Texas the government, it's Texas this one company. Like, we're Canada. Poilievre is the leader of the opposition of our parliament. I don't understand why we fucking care. Jeannie is in the chat. Jeannie. Moose on the Loose is amazing. He's what you call Canadian. Jeannie, I have a question for you. Moose on the Loose just said that it was good for Poilievre to be going to talk to TC, which is a Texas energy company. And it was, you don't see, as if in the negative light, you don't see Carney doing that. Can you tell me why it's a good thing or a bad thing? Or why Moose is saying it's a good thing or a bad thing? Because he didn't explain. He didn't tell us why it was a good thing or a bad thing. He just stated that. I'm just hoping somebody can, like, bridge the gap for me here. There seems to be I feel like we've only got a half-formed thing going on. John seems really mad. John, you're being a little bit emotional. John, you can calm down. John, can you tell me what 5% of 20% on 100 is? It's okay, we're gonna calm down and do a math problem. Simple math problem. It's okay. Yeah, why should Carney meet up there in Texas in the first place, as opposed to meeting with the Nordic bloc or the EU bloc? Yeah, if you had to choose between going to Texas and talking to a singular energy company, or going to, like, a business conference for all business in the Nordic bloc, what you gonna pick? If you want to understand, go see his chart. His chart is gonna explicitly explain that. Are you okay? Where in the chart? I've looked at his chart. Can you tell me where on the chart I'm supposed to get touched? Is the person mixing the 13 billion deficit for this year versus the accumulated interest of 6.4 for the current and prior debt? I don't know about the 13 billion and the 6.4 billion numbers are correct. I'm just asking. I don't know if they're correct either. They gave no citation, and so that seems to be what they're saying, but we don't really know because it was literally just a political ad that he went, yeah, to. Really wanted to hear from the moderate conservative. Yeah, that's what we're here for. We're here for the moderate conservative point of view for Canadians, and we're just not getting that. Very sad, very upsetting. All right. Let's keep going. These guys, Jeannie can't answer the question, and John can't answer the question. Jeannie, do you know what 5% of 10%, sorry, 5% of 20% on 100 is?
Polyev here, down in Texas, met with President Todd Staples and Director Matt Patterson of the Texoga, Texas Oil and Gas Association. Just imagine where we'd be at today if Pierre Polyev was in power. No net zero.
I've imagined that a couple of times, and it's not great.
Agenda, big projects, big jobs, some deportation.
What's the problem with the no net zero agenda? I also want to know why, like, billions of dollars in investment and trade, like, global trade and repositioning Canada as a global trade, like, into a position of power is not considered a big project. Like, I would consider that a big project. Yeah, why do we need to avoid a net zero agenda? Again, it's not that this guy is necessarily wrong, but I can't tell you whether or not he's right or wrong if he's just making these statements without telling me why. I might agree with him if I knew why he thought this. But he just says these things and there's nothing behind them. It's just all fluff. Though I guess I can't say I'm surprised that extreme conservatives like getting fluffed. The sexual repression does a lot of weird shit to people, okay? Don't worry about it.
Life would be good. Careful what you vote for. With that, we've got Luis Blyce, the former ambassador to the UN, and...
Was that like just a subtle jab at we don't have ice in Canada and he wants ice in Canada? He wants deportations? Eek. Windmills cause cancer or something. Windmills do not cause cancer. God damn it. It's that G5.
Careful what you vote for. With that, we've got Luis Blyce, the former ambassador to the UN and Council General in America, praising Polyev here, saying, I respect how the leader of the opposition, Pierre Polyev, has organized this trip. I've said this over and over again. If you only go to DC, you will not get the USA and you will not build real bonds. So praise.
Mark Carney has been to the United States more than once to meet directly with Donald Trump. On the other hand, Pierre Polyev literally can't do anything when he travels to the United States as the leader of the opposition. Like, what deal can Pierre Polyev offer anybody? He can't. He's not in that position to do that, so what's he doing? Besides sucking off MAGA, and if that's the case, why, like, I have a hard time understanding why jerking off Donald Trump and Donald Trump sycophants is good for Canadians and useful. Hey, Jenny responded. They didn't respond, obviously, with the answer to the question of 5% of 20%, but they did answer with something. So, net zero doesn't exist. Do you not know what net zero is? Like... Windmills are useless, and they come from China. Okay, so would you be pro? Okay, let's take this. Sorry, I'm sorry. One step at a time. Windmills are bad because they come from China. Okay, what if we build them here? And what if we manufacture them in Canada? Is that fine? Windmills come from China. They're native to China, didn't you know? Oh my god. Sorry, let's go to another thing. Windmills are useless. Windmills are useless, then why did they exist back in medieval times? Do you, sir and or madam or neither, do you know what a windmill does? Guys, how do you think they think hydroelectricity works? Like especially like old school hydroelectricity. Hey, have you ever seen that episode of Pokemon where Ash hooks Pikachu up to a mill and then starts walking on that mill to make it charge Pikachu with energy? And that you can put a mill in water, and you know what it does? It goes in circles, and it operates the exact same way as a windmill does. Yes, windmills exist so knights can joust with them. Obviously, yeah, obviously. What are all of our knights supposed to do here in Canada if they don't have windmills to joust? You're gonna put knights out of a job! And if you put knights out of the job, what are we gonna do with all these horses? We're gonna have way too much fucking glue! I like at this point, Genie's fallen so far off the fucking rails that they're now just listing nouns. Windmills come from China. Oh my god, that's so fucking funny. Oh, okay. Oh, guys, we broke Genie. Genie, go calm down, it's alright. I'm laughing with you, I promise. Oh no, we broke them. I'm so... oh no, you sent me a Wikipedia to what windmills are? Guys, where did they get all that grain from if windmills didn't work and did nothing? God damn it. Windmills have been around like windmill machines have been used earlier. The Babylonian emperor had used a windmill to power for his irrigation project in Mesopotamia in the 17th century BC. Obviously, windmills do nothing. Obviously, windmills do nothing, right, guys? They've only been around since the 17th century, 12th century in Northwest Europe. Oh my god. Used throughout the high medieval and early modern periods, the horizontal or the... is that the Panemone? Panemone? Windmill first appeared in Persia during the 9th century, and the vertical windmill first appeared in Northwest Europe in the 12th century. Bro, we've been using windmills since the 9th century. Obviously, they do nothing, and were made in China. All of them. You know what? At least this is better than some other ones. At least China existed. Even, like, at least maybe not, like, as a whole China, as it is the one China thing that is right now, but oh my fucking god. Obviously, you're an NDP quack. That's interesting. I didn't vote for the NDP in the last election. Quick, Wendy. What is net zero? Can you tell me what net zero is? Genie gave up. Can you tell me what net zero is? Because we have to apparently start with what is net zero before we can talk about whether or not... Do you know what a windmill is? Why do I feel like we need to start with fucking... What is a windmill? Obviously made in China. I'm just... Oh my god, I'm not gonna get over that one. That one's gonna... Oh, lordy. That one's gonna keep me entertained for hours. I'm very easily amused. Wikipedia. Just the Wikipedia of what is fucking... Yeah, I've heard that net zero is bad. Yo, Shauna was right. I've heard really bad things about net zero. Can you tell me what net zero is? So that way I can understand how bad it is. Wendy, where'd you go? Wendy, come back. Wendy, can you tell me what net zero is? I keep hearing that it's really bad, but nobody's explained to me what it is yet. All right. Let's keep going. We'll wait for Wendy.
Pierre Poilievre's trip across America. Meanwhile, Canada reports first annual population decline on record. That's right. Canadian
That's not what they said last time. Last time it was like, oh no, the population is going down so fast. What are we gonna do? First annual population decline on record? I mean, didn't they want less immigration? That's how you get less population. Number, go down, oh no.
Canadians can't afford to have kids. This hits me directly. I chose not to have kids because I couldn't afford to. Throughout my 30s, it wasn't even on my...
Sure. Net zero. It's a hockey net number 0. Man.
My mind, life was just too difficult. It was too expensive. I lived the majority of my 30s through the Trudeau years, and now here we are.
Sounds like a skill issue. Sorry, yeah. What's up, Felix? That's a real complaint. It's a real complaint that life and shit is too expensive. I think we all agree with that. The thing we're not agreeing with is how do you fix doing things like that? Net Zero is an AOL online competitor. Yeah, it's women's fault, obviously. What do you mean? People with better things to do keep showing up and crying and showing their ignorance. Pretty normal stuff. Yeah, the huge. So they complain about lower population, but also complain about an increase of population? Yeah. Obviously. They're like, oh no, Canada is losing population, so if you bring in immigration to boost those numbers up, they go, oh no, you're bringing in immigrants. So Wendy won't even answer the question. Wendy, what is net zero? Wendy, please inform me. I'm obviously just a liberal cuck who doesn't know anything. What is net zero? Windmill women both start with W. Coincidence? Wendy, come back. Wendy, no. Alright.
Are today.
I don't care about your personal story, dude. Your personal story doesn't mean anything to me. It informs your arguments, sure, but you haven't made any arguments, so it's meaningless. Look, it is literally, it's always the number go up, though. The number need big. If number no big, it no mean no, nothing. Number be big. Big number equals correct, obviously. Obviously, if your number is large. That's, I believe, Wendy, what you're being introduced to is called the ad populum fallacy. Just because a lot of people agree or a lot of people believe something doesn't mean they are correct. For example, it seems a lot of conservatives in Canada don't understand what windmills are. That does not mean windmills aren't functional. Because guess what? Your opinion about windmills is independent and does not matter to whether or not windmills actually do anything. I know it's complicated. I know it's hard to wrap your mind around, but
Mark Carney to finish us off. Instead, what do we get? So this video is going around here. Brampton in 1994 versus Brampton in 2026.
Man, people using the street and walking? Uh-oh, I know what this is. It's racism. Look, it's the racism. Oh dear. I was told that this wasn't racist. I was told that this guy was not an extremist. I was told that this guy was your average conservative who knew what was going on. Turns out, he's just a fucking racist.
If you look at the demographics, Brampton today has 80% visible minority and 50% South Asian. So it's no surprise that if you go there, you would feel like...
What? 80% visible minority. 50%. If you're a minority, you should be invisible, obviously. Something racism. So he's just a racist. Cool.
Like
good
you're
shit.
in a city in India. Now, the question we should be asking is, why are we
What?
bringing in so many people from one country? It's changing Canadian culture. It should be...
Oh my god, this guy's such a goof. Bro, if you're... What's wrong with cities in India? Well, there's Indian people there, obviously. Oh my fucking god. It's changing Canadian culture. You know, you need to actually, like, explain. I'm going back. We're going back. We're rolling it back. You're just making accusations and just making statements as if these things are negative and bad. And you're just expect your racist audience to be racist with you. But if you're not racist, you immediately start fucking asking the question, what's wrong here? What's the issue? It's changing the culture. How? In what way? And why would that be negative? Is a culture change bad? No, not necessarily. It depends on what's fucking changing. And what do you mean one country? Do you think all brown people are from India? Well, if it looks brown enough, you've got the fucking Peter Griffin meme of the fucking color of your skin equals the exact country you're from, and obviously everybody here is from India. Good God. Racism is so fucking stupid. You have to be so fucking goddamn dumb to be racist. You have to be so stupid. You have to go out of your way to be more fucking dumb. Unbelievable.
Equally distributed across all countries, but at this point we shouldn't be bringing in anyone.
Why? What? No, what? That doesn't make any fucking sense. All immigration should be equally distributed across. So you want DEI immigration? Oh my fucking god. If you're gonna have immigration, you need to have all of it from everywhere. So does that include, like, Russia? What do you do when the population is way bigger somewhere else? Does it need to be scaled for population? What about a country that just the people don't want to come here? Do you force them to come here? Or is Canada gonna start abducting people to be like, well, we gotta have 10 immigrants from every country if we want to have immigration from any country. So that means we need to start going to countries to people that don't want to come here and make sure we get 10 of them to come? Like, this doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
And we have too many people. We're full. We don't have enough jobs, healthcare, housing to have more people come in. With that, we've got an alleged...
Then why are you also complaining about the declining birth rate? Why are you complaining about if the population is going down? Doesn't that solve some of your problems that you're listing? It's almost like they're self-contradictory. Yeah, no one has enough jobs, housing, or healthcare. Yeah, this is a global problem, and they're pretending it's like a fucking NDP problem. Or, sorry, a liberal problem. And it's not. It's an everybody problem, and it's, like, been ongoing for a while. You know what would help, maybe, is if the guy who Harper appointed in his housing ministry, and then who was in politics his entire career, actually voted for things that would help people build shit. Am I referring to Pierre Poilievre? I might be. You'd have to check his voting record and find out.
Home invader was pew-pewed in the gut in a botched home invasion in Vaughan this week, was identified as Tristan Casanova Elman. He already has a warrant out for his suspected role in other pew-pews and bad stuff. This is one feel-good story we've got here.
It's a feel-good story that somebody was going around doing crime and they got shot in the gut? How is that? What about this is a feel-good story, you freak? Oh, is it because you're racist and he's kind of brown? Is it because this guy might be a minority, therefore this is a feel-good story because you're happy that a minority got shot? And it's a minority that you think fits your stereotypical fucking they're all criminals mindset, you bigot? Is that it? Gross. So I'm gonna actually read this like a fucking adult. Breaking update, the alleged home invader who was shot in the gut in a botched home invasion in Vaughan this week was identified as name. He already had a warrant out for his suspected role in other homicides and shootings. Stay pack in Canada. So it's a feel-good story that somebody who allegedly did a crime got shot. So apparently, Mr. Definitely Not an Extremist Conservative over here, Dave does not believe in Innocent until proven guilty. There isn't. Please explain to me. Hey, you're a fan of Dave. Hey, could you guys? Wendy was here. Wendy was a fan. Could you please explain to me why this is a feel-good story? Please, can we? Okay, do we got to do it to him? Do we got to do it to him again? No. How is this a feel-good story? But again, this is only the alleged individual who was alleged a suspected role in other homicides. So alleged and suspected. We don't know what this guy did or did not even do. Oh, hey, Nelson. You a fan of Moose? You're over here because you're a fan of Moose? Can you please tell me what the feel-good part of this story is? Can you tell me? Could you please tell Elmo? Could you please explain this to me like I'm 5? You'll notice that they immediately come in with an ad hom. Guilty until proven extra guilty. Yeah, right?
Of a criminal getting what he deserves. There's a clip of Doug Ford going off about how this guy deserved to get pew-pewed. I'm not going to play it because the words he used, I'd have to bleep out way too much. Moving ahead here, Tiff Matt.
So now Doug Ford, a conservative premier, allegedly said something that he's not going to say to us, like that he's not going to show to us. Okay.
Giving us an update on the Bank of Canada interest rate.
Today, the Governing Council maintained the policy rate at 2.25%, and we've held the policy rate at this level since October.
Holding interest rate at 2.25%.
Recent data show
no body cam. It wasn't said that the police shot them. At least not in the thing that he said.
the Canadian economy remains in excess supply and is growing slowly as it adjusts to U.S. tariffs and uncertainty. After growing 2.4% in the third quarter of last year, GDP...
All right, now how is growth in Canadian economy going to be a bad job done by the Liberals?
shrank by 0.6% in the fourth quarter. This was weaker than we forecast at the time of the January MPR, but that's mainly because inventories were drawn down more than we expected. Domestic demand actually grew by 2.4% because of the strength in consumer and government spending, although housing was weak. Data received for early 2026 suggests the economy is expanding again, but at a slower pace than we had forecast in January.
So you get the idea here. All their forecasts are showing that Canada is just slowing to a halt. This train is going to...
That is not what that said at all! Oh my fucking god! So that's how. Thank you for telling me how your obvious bias is obvious and predictable. Oh, good lord.
Stop here if we don't change things around real quickly. Sadly, the economy...
That's not what they said at all. They said that the growth rate is slower than they expected. Not that it stopped or was grinding to a halt. What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh, so he's just a liar. So he's racist and a liar. All right, go on.
The economy is already broken, and the same political party who broke it can't be expected to fix it. No question of stagflation. That signal came...
How does that apply to the 2008 financial crisis? He literally replaces what is said with what he wants to have heard. Yes.
Very clear months ago, the degree of which how broken this country will be clear by the end of 2026. I think that's a pretty accurate comment there. People.
All right, so what do we get if you're wrong? So this is your prediction. So what if you're incorrect? What if you're right but not right enough? Do I just then get to say that, well, actually, you were completely wrong? Do we want to put a pin in that to find out how Canada's economy is doing at the end of 2026?
We're passing this chart around, which just really shows, Canada is hitting the bottom of the barrel here. This is...
Okay, what is this? Canada, the industrial implosion, investment in industry, machinery, and equipment in volumes. This is just an image from Twitter. It says index 1981 Q1, so quarter 1 equals 100. And then it's got scaling, which I presume is the scaling of time, and then scaling here on the index, which starts at 0 in, I guess, 1981, and then goes over to here, and then it just says something NBC Economics and Strategy via data via Statistics Canada and BEA, but I have zero context for this, so I guess we can ignore it.
Is an industrial implosion, investment in industrial machinery. This is awful for our country. Moving ahead, we've got...
Why? Tell me why. You just say these things and you don't... Why? What is the point? What is the point of you? You're just telling me what I'm supposed to think. Oh, hey, thank you. Look, it's the thing. All right. Hot Charts, Economics and Strategy, National Bank of Canada, Capital Markets, September 12th, 2025. All right. Canada Watch. We've written about the plight of Canada's industrial sector here, here, and here. If that didn't grab your attention, perhaps this will. According to the latest national accounts data, real investment and strategy machinery and equipment fell in quarter 2 to its lowest level on record, data back to 1981. As today's hot chart shows, the divergence with the United States is nothing short of appalling. How did we get here? Years of excessive regulation and a chronic lack of ambition by successive governments in promoting domestic transformation of our national resources, recently made worse by Washington's protectionist agenda. So are you suggesting that Carney's change of pace and wanting to reinvest in Canada is based off of this kind of information? And wanting to increase domestic production and wanting to invest in Canada and making sure that Canadian companies are using things like Canadian lumber and Canadian steel to build their shit is a thing that happens and is a thing that is going, like, that's part of the plan? That failure has eroded Canada's manufacturing base and has left us at risk of becoming irrelevant in the global supply chains. To Ottawa's credit, the pledge to quickly ramp up military spending to 3.5 to 5% of GDP could help catalyze a reindustrialization. Oh, you mean that the current government is doing things that should help fix this thing that has been identified and that they agree is a problem? But time is of the essence, If we are to salvage what's left of the sector, what Canada need... But, I don't like that sentence. Yeah, I don't like... That's 2 M dashes in questionable sentence structure. What Canada needs is a wartime, multi-pronged strategy that ends the dithering. Really? Really? Why wartime? Yeah, why wartime? Why? A competitive tax regime, so more taxes, higher taxes? Wartime economy wreaks havoc. Yeah, if you move too quickly, you risk making very large mistakes. You want to move with purpose and with, like, intent, but you don't want to rush. A sweeping reduction in red tape and clear laws on how we intend to develop our natural resources. Clarence, the architect of Canadian industrialization, showed what determined leadership can achieve. Canada must now draw on that inspiration to rebuild its industrial base before it's too late. So Moves accidentally showed a paper that is pro some of the stuff that Carney is doing. Yeah, it's a little bit small government coded, but small government coded doesn't really make any sense. Anyway, I'm not going to go digging too much further into this. Let's keep going. He's already moved on to the next thing, so, okay.
Implosion, investment in industrial machinery. This is awful for our country. Moving ahead, we've got BC school trustee quits to call out gender ideology in schools. Well, look at that.
Oh, sorry, do you want me to show the graph again? Sorry about that, hold on. Let me pull it back up. You want to see this? You think the graph is truncated? There you go. The charts look bleak, do they? So what do you think we should do instead? What? So let's pretend that there isn't any policy, right? Yeah, it's misleading because it starts at 60. Yeah, it doesn't start at 0. So this isn't 0. This is 60. Yeah. The short report in 2020. Yeah. COVID lasted until 2022. Yeah. ...2008 crisis lasted until approximately 2013, so that would be this chunk here. Yeah, so you see how the graph is not, like, steady? Like, it's not... Yeah. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with truncating a graph, and there's nothing wrong with using this graphic, but you need to make sure that the information is clear and you don't misrepresent it, which is what this guy is doing, right? Now that we've read it, let's hear what he actually said again, right?
Came very clear. I think that's a pretty accurate comment there. People are passing this chart around, which just really shows, Canada is hitting the bottom of the barrel here. This is an industrial implosion, investment in industrial machines.
Yeah, that's not the bottom. Bro, that's not the bottom. It doesn't start at 0. It starts at 60. And it's also only comparing us to the United States, which is dangerous and inaccurate.
Machinery. This is awful for our country. Moving ahead, we've got
It's awful for our country.
BC school trustee quits to call out gender ideology in schools. Well, look at that. This comes following the Tumbler Ridge situation, saying we need to suspend SOGI, the S-word orientation and gender identity. Provincial.
The S-word? What's slut? The S-word. Sexual? Are you fucking 12? I mean, actually, to be honest, 12-year-olds would probably be fine with saying the word sexual. Are you kidding me? Shit. Pew pew. Oh my god, actual literal children. Unbelievable. If you're in my comment section, can you please explain to me why you like this content? Because I, for the life of me, am not. It's beyond me right now. Yeah, no, the SOG is sexual orientation and gender identity. That's what that is. I'm sorry. I got distracted by him being doing way too much censorship in a really weird way.
For our country. Moving ahead, we've got BC school trustee quits to call out gender ideology in schools.
I'm sorry, I just saw side chat. You're getting... So funny. What would that be? Economogged? You're getting economogged by single American states? Well, yeah, when a single American state is also mogging the rest of its own country and is also like triple the size and population to our country. I mean, yeah. What? But why is that a problem? Right? It's not. It's not an issue. Because it's just having more money or a higher GDP does not mean that people in your space are in a good economic place, right? All right, yeah. I'm just gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna go go get my beer. I'll be back in just a second. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Oh, brother, shit's fucking hilarious. All right, I'm back. What is this? Didn't California recently surpass Japan's economy? Yeah, it might have. California's economy is huge. It's like it being Silicon Valley. Like, there's a reason it's Silicon Valley, right? So between Hollywood and between like all the tech giants that are all there. This is also why, by the way, it's really dumb to judge something based off GDP and GDP alone. If you're using GDP as the main source or your only source for measuring the success of an economy, you're not gonna get very good information. Like, that's not really going to show you the full picture. But I think anybody with 2 brain cells would more than likely agree that using one factor to judge such a wide and big thing would be a foolish thing to do. Like, you wouldn't do that with apples. You wouldn't use one apple orchard to say, hey, all apples are good or all apples are bad within like an entire like region, right? What kind of beer is it? Well, appropriately, it's Moosehead. Drinking crack canoe. Poor Jonkler's gotten so lost in the sauce, my guy. Dude, friendo, calm down. Well, I don't know why these discussions make conservatives so irrationally angry and so viscerally emotional all the time. Like, it's okay. You can calm down. Nobody's biting your head off. If you were going to use one factor, it should probably be the happiness index. Well, I mean, that's a little bit of a misnomer, right? Because the happiness index also uses multiple factors, right? So, like, the happiness index would be... I just looked at the Canadian Industrial Index for manufacturing. It went up from 44.2 in 1981 to 138 in 2026. Baseline of 100 were in 2020. So this graph isn't even correct? Is that what you're telling me? Because the baseline here is 100. That's really funny. Oh, it's just a different metric. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, what is this? Investment in industrial machinery and equipment. Oh, so it's, yeah, okay. So yeah, this is also a little bit misleading if you're gonna pretend that this graph is telling you about the entirety of the of the investment in Canada's manufacturing industry, right? Because this is only talking about machinery and equipment by volume. It's not actually including buildings, hiring rates, money investments through stock, etc. So it's missing a lot of information to give you any kind of good contextual, meaningful information, right? So again, it's like, hey, listen, we're only going to judge whether or not your particular manufacturing plant is in the positive or the negative based off of how many forklifts you bought. So if you didn't buy any forklifts this year, you're at a deficit. You're going down because you didn't buy any, so you're in the negative, right? Yeah, trying to find out where they got this information is a good question, actually. All right, let's keep going. Anyway. First reading, this is Yahoo News. Oh, it's the National Post. Of course, it's the National Post. Oh, dear. Now, I have criticized the National Post before as being not Canadian. It's not a Canadian source. It's not what I would call a Canadian source. It's a big money American source masquerading as a Canadian source. Now, that doesn't mean that always all of their information is wrong or misleading all of the time. It just means that that's something you should be aware of when you are reading them and their biases, especially since this is also an opinion piece that he's about to read. You'll notice that this says opinion, and the opinion is by somebody named Tristan Hopper. All relevant pieces of information. So all right, what do you got to say?
Moving ahead, we've got BC school trustee quits to call out gender ideology in schools. Well, look at that.
Okay.
This comes following the Tumbler Ridge situation, saying we need to suspend SOGI, the S-word orientation and gender identity, province-wide until an examination is done on its impact, if any, on the perpetrator of the tragedy in Tumbler Ridge, wrote Laurie Thrones in a Monday statement posted to Facebook following his late February resignation from the Chilliwack School Board. So there is some common sense here in certain positions. And what do we see?
What? So we're not gonna get any context for this at all, are we?
Here today, breaking FBI and Interpol.
Nope. I'm not even sure which direction this guy landed on for his resigning based off of that information. Did he resign because he didn't like the sexual orientation, gender identity stuff, or did he resign because he liked it? Is he saying that the gender identity stuff and sexual orientation is a part of the cause of the shooting, or if they did it in a more thorough way, then this shooting wouldn't have happened? Is he even making that kind of comment at all? I don't know. Based off of this comment, I have to go look it up myself and go read it and find out. Guys, this is not good news coverage. God damn it. If I learned that he had a BA in journalism or communications, I would shriek. Hey, anybody who's following Dave over here, do you guys know if Dave has ever done any schooling in journalism or communication? Yeah, what part is common sense here in this story? So he's transphobe. Are we surprised? Is anybody surprised? I was told this guy was not an extremist. I was promised that this guy was a common sense conservative. I was told that this guy was gonna be like the reasonable middle guy who like knows what's going on and gives you the facts. I have gotten none of those things. This is the second video I've watched, and what do we got? We got fucking racism, we've got transphobia, we've got massive extremism, and you've got just straight up lying and misrepresenting facts. Guys! Zero critical analysis, no thinking process, zero reason demonstrated. God damn it. This is lazy. This is such lazy fucking content.
Accepted message.
And no, I'm not gonna go look it up because I'm not gonna do the homework for him. I've already done that for a couple of things. Damn it. Go to Moose on the Loose chart. If I need to go to the chart, what's the point of the video? Please! Son, please. Please help me. I beg of you. Please. Please. Please help me. Please. I will, please. Can you please explain to me? What does he have every single thing he's ever talked about on his chart? Please, I beg of you. Oh no. Guys, they found us. I don't know how, but they found us. Who are you? What have you accomplished? Or are you just another leech? Leech is two E's. L-E-E, not L-E-A. On society, self-righteous, yet nothing of substance. I don't know, am I? Because you are scrutinizing his words, then just do your own chart. Well, I am providing commentary on what is supposed to be, what I was told was supposed to be the place I could go to get conservative, fair, reasonable, conservative opinions, and all I've found is bigotry, transphobia, and lying. And here's the thing, have I not done my own thing by looking up the thing that he says and then showing you what it says and analyzing it and critiquing it? misrepresentation, left, right, and center. There's a lot on there, and he does update it. But Sun, please, I beg of you. Then what's the point of the video? I'm more than willing to go through the graph. Don't worry, we're gonna go through his graph eventually. We'll get there, because that graph is a big ask. All right, admittedly, you have to admit that graph is a big, his big fucking chart is that's a big ask, right? And we'll go through it, but why can't I just get my opinion, like, why can't he inform me about the things that he brought up and he's talking about in his video? It's okay, I'll wait. I'll wait for Sun and definitely Rob. Is that Rob? No, that wasn't Rob. Hold on. WZ890 will definitely be able to answer this. Don't worry, I have his chart. We have it in the Discord. We've been poking at it a little bit. It'll probably have to be its own video, though. He's a content creator. Yeah? And... So he's a content creator, but he needs you to come here and defend him for him because he's just that weak of a content creator? He's a content creator who can't handle having people commentate on his content as a commentator himself? That he needs you? But again, I ask my fucking question. Then what's the point of the video? If he's not going to provide an opinion, he's not going to provide facts of the matter, and he's just going to spew rhetoric and his own transphobic, homophobic, bigoted agenda, what's the point? There's no value to it besides that rhetoric, besides propaganda. So what you're telling me, Sun, is his content, his video content is propaganda. And that's it? Please, I beg of you. Please. You came in here swinging, my guy. Come on, it's okay. No, we're not gonna bite your head off. We're having a conversation here. This is an open panel. We listen to all sides. We're fair and balanced. I haven't, cut up what he said. I'm not taking him out of context. We're playing the whole video. We're listening. But, if you're gonna make a statement, you need to be able to, fucking back it up. It's okay, you don't have to get too defensive. Can you tell me what 5% of 20% is? That'd be great. And we pull up the crop. We are actually presenting more information of what he's shown than he did. Oh, yeah. No, you're right, Feline. He's absolutely ripped. Moose over here, Dave, has absolutely ripped all of the context out of most of what he's said. And it doesn't help that most of the information he's giving to people is, Twitter comments. Right? As if Twitter comments is fucking worth a damn. Right? Okay, who cares? I'm back to the question of, I was promised and I was told this guy was not an extremist. I pull up this video, he seems like an extremist to me. And the only reason I asked about his credentials was we were goofing on whether or not he's learned anything about journalism. Not because he would be invalid if he hadn't. He's already invalid, regardless. Because having a degree doesn't necessarily mean anything. I also get a bit of a kick out of, who was that? Jonkler thinks that Sable Eagle is upset because Sable Eagle is providing citations and numbers for their statement. Your projection a little bit. All right, what do you got for me, Sun? Where did show me on the doll where Moose's chart touched you? Where am I going? Where are you directing me to? Am I wrong to have the expectation of coming to somebody's YouTube video and getting information about the thing that they're talking about in the video? Is that wrong of me, guys? One in the chat. One in the chat. If you think it's wrong of me to have the expectation when I click on a video that the person is going to provide the shit that they say they're going to provide in the video. 2 in the chat if 1 in the chat if you think I'm wrong, 2 in the chat if you think I'm right to expect content in the content. Because I think my major criticism of Moose right now is that I expect him to have content. You literally said he was a content creator. What content? He's just saying shit. There's nothing in here. Athen means 1 because I should have 0 expectations. It's wrong to have expectations when coming over here. Oh, I'm honing my telepathic skills. I must be able to read his mind. Listen, I just expect content in my content. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Moose is speaking to me. Pointer for 5 Moose is speaking. Is the Moose in the room with you right now? I just don't understand. I don't understand. People come over here to defend... there's been like a handful of people, right, at this point that have come over to defend Moose without having actually opinions of their own. They're just either repeating something that Moose said or claiming that Moose has created something somewhere that I could go find that will prove everything that Moose said, but they also have 0 context for what I'm even criticizing for in the first place. Sun, do you understand what my criticism of Moose is right now? Or, sorry, Dave. I'm gonna stop calling him Moose. I'm gonna start calling him Dave. He's a content creator like Fox is a news outlet? Aw, that's not very nice. Funny, but it's not very nice. Yeah, no, 1, you've suffered him once, you should know. I should know better. I should know better than to expect content from the content creator. RIP. The main reason the trustee resigned was because another trustee was fined with $750,000 by a Human Rights Commission for transphobic statements. Oh, look at that. You mean... You mean somebody's citation needed him? Oh my god. Look, it's not even me, guys. Look, it's not even me going out of my way to find what the fuck Moose is talking about. My chat has gone out of the way multiple times to go and find the citation of what he's talking about, and then found it, and then provided the citation for what the fuck. You didn't say it had to be nice. It's true. There's no rule in here that says you have to be nice. That is not the rule. The rule is you're not allowed to be a dick. Chilliwack school trustee Lori Thornes resigns over free speech chill. He says recent human rights tribunal decisions means he, quote, no longer feels safe expressing himself. That seems like a reasonable response. If like you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen, right? That's reasonable. A school trustee in Chilliwack, BC, has resigned from his position, saying he, quote, no longer feels safe in expressing himself after the BC Human Rights Tribunal's decision to fine former trustee Barry Neufeld $750,000. Lori Thorin says in a statement that he can't do his job or speak his mind freely without, quote, worrying about accusations of workplace discrimination after the tribunal found that Neufeld violated the Human Rights Code by publishing hate speech against LGBTQ+ people. He says the tribunal's decisions will place a chill on public discourse. X to doubt. I don't think that's true. I mean, he might think that, and that's fine. He's allowed to think that. I disagree. He adds that he felt he couldn't call for the suspension of sexual orientation and gender identity education in his capacity as a trustee after the mass shooting in Tumbler Ridge, where 8 people were killed. Thornes who's a former member of the BC legislature, says school trustees across the province will no longer comment on sensitive topics, including gender or inclusivity, because of the legal ordeal that Newfield went through. In 2020, Thornes resigned from what was formerly known as the BC Liberal Party after comparing free contraceptives to eugenics. So who in here was it that said that this is an issue of liberals? Well, apparently this guy was in the Liberal Party, but then he resigned after he compared free contraceptives to eugenics. In 2020. Chilliwack Board of Education Chair David Swanky says Thornes was a valuable voice that advocated for academic excellence, and the seat left vacant will be open until next municipal election in October. So anybody in BC, there's a municipal election coming up, and you should pay attention to that, and you should go vote. But yeah, it's not like he even got fired. He just didn't feel comfortable doing his job anymore because he wasn't allowed to be a bigot for free. BC Liberals was the Conservative Party of BC for years. Well, yeah, but don't tell them that. That involves context and nuance. Shut the fuck up. These guys are literally just angry that they can't be D-bags or assholes anytime they want without repercussions. Yeah, they just want to be able to say the N-word. That's all this is. This isn't like some big fucking fight for freedom of speech. This isn't some big fucking, my freedoms are being taken away. This isn't some, I'm being oppressed. This is literally like, I'm not allowed to say the N-word and I want to be allowed to say the N-word. Well, I can't make queer people feel unsafe freely expressing themselves without social consequences. Well, and financial consequences. I would like to... Do we want to find out what Barry Newfield said? Let's find out. Let's find out what Barry Newfield said. Hold on. I want to know. I want to know what he said that got him in so much trouble. What did this guy do? Here we go. Former BC... Or I'm just going to stick with CBC because we're already on CBC. Former BC, there's also The Tree has an article about it, CP24, Canadian HR Reporter, The Interim. There's a bunch of sources for this one. So, former BC school trustee, choose your preferred outlet. I'm just grabbing the first one because I'm lazy. Former BC school trustee ordered to pay $750,000 for hate speech discrimination human rights tribunal. The BC Human Rights Tribunal has ordered former Chilliwack school trustee Barry to pay a bunch of money for violating human rights code by publishing hate speech and discriminatory content against 2S LGBTQ plus people. Quote, Mr. Newfeld, whatever, invoked negative and insidious stereotypes about LGBTQ people, especially trans people, which denied their inherent dignity and in some cases reflected the hallmarks of hate against them as a group, the tribunal said in a decision Wednesday. Newfeld was one of the loudest critics against the BC's government's move in 2017, directing school boards to update codes of conduct by addressing bullying based on sexual orientation and gender identity. For 5 years, he publicly denigrated LGBTQ people and teachers and associated them with the worst forms of child abuse, end quote, said the tribunal members, adding that the effect was a discriminatory work environment for 2S LGBTQ plus teachers in the district. So basically, you're not allowed to just... so what's the problem? What are we defending here again? Dave? Is it just free speech to discriminate against people in the workplace? Go fucking figure. So what's the problem? So there's been a couple of conservatives that have swung by. There's been a couple of people. Hey, son, come back. Wendy. Hey, come back. Come back and tell me. Tell me what was the fucking good news, all good news thing about the guy getting shot. What was the all good news thing about that? Can you tell me what we're defending here? Here? This way? This guy, what are we defending here? Not a single one of them have actually fucking been able to fucking justify this, because it's unjustifiable. Because it's just fucking bigotry.
Certain positions. And what do we see here?
Yeah, I'm not listening to this
in
again.
Bridgewater, Nova Scotia, who had been discussing plans to pew-pew their schools. A search warrant found handwritten plans, a roughly made intimidation pipe bomb, and pew-pew and H-word symbols. As we see police...
What's H-word? God, if you can't read it, what's the fucking point? XKCD. Where did you put it? Ah, here it is. Open. Boom. Gonna load? Oh, you're a piece of shit. You're gonna be a dick to me. Really? That's where it's going? Fine. It's fine. I got it. Oh, it's right there. Come here. Come here, you. Ta-da! There you go. It's a public service announcement. The right to freedom of speech means the government can't arrest you for what you say. It doesn't mean that anyone else has to listen to your bullshit or host you while you share it. The First Amendment doesn't shield you from criticism or consequences. If you are yelled at, boycotted, have your show canceled, or get banned from the internet community, your free speech rights aren't being violated. It's just that people listening think you're an asshole and they're showing you the door. Of course, this also doesn't apply in Canada because our free speech laws are completely unrelated to the First Amendment. The H word on screen was hate. He couldn't even... This man is a child. This man is a child and is clearly incapable of having any adult fucking conversations. You called hate the H word. Why should anybody take this man seriously in any way, shape, or form? Do we have a citation, by the way, for this?
Intimidation, pipe bomb, and pew-pew and H-word symbols. As we see police foil...
Okay.
Plans for bad attack on Nova Scotia school. Teens face...
He can't say the word violent. This is ridiculous. This is satire. This is satire at this point, right? Like, this is... Like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? Liberals are so obsessed with censorship. Meanwhile, this guy, bad attack as opposed to a positive attack. Oh, he's a slave. He's a slave. Yeah, it's almost like he has an agenda of just fucking making money. It's almost like he only cares about the money and doesn't actually care about the facts of the matter and is grifting. It's almost like he's a grifter. Quick, somebody check his bank statements for Russia and India. Alright, go on.
Facing charges. This is becoming a real problem in our country. Now, the question is this related to Soji and all that with Tumbler Ridge? Is this not related to that at all? Not enough details.
What? You're just making shit up. Okay.
Right now to know what the motive is.
Two Canadian teenagers.
So you're just gonna make it up. Alright.
Nova Scotia, the other in Manitoba, are accused.
I would like to point out that one was in BC, one was in Nova Scotia, which is on the other side of the country, and Manitoba is 2 provinces away from BC. So Quebec and New Brunswick and Ontario are between Manitoba and Nova Scotia.
Accused of planning simultaneous attacks at their local high schools. Police in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia say they were contacted by the FBI.
So is this shooting not all positive and all not good news? Can you tell me why?
And Interpol about a concerning online conversation between the 2 youth that began in February.
So 2 of them planned this.
I have a little bit of a question about how they got those private communications. Because that could be a security issue, a privacy issue.
At simultaneous high schools. This would have been 2 schools getting hit at the
High schools.
same time.
Officers searched a home in Bridgewater where they allegedly located detailed handwritten plans, imitation weapons, and clothing with hate symbols. A 15-year-old from Nova Scotia is now in custody. Meanwhile,
So now catching hate symbols and stuff is good, as opposed to it being bad when there were consequences for the board trustee.
RCMP in Manitoba arrested a youth in the province on Monday in relation to this case.
This is unbelievable. The Canada we know is gone. It's long gone.
Guys, the Canada we know is long gone because some people doing shitty things and doing hate speech got arrested and they got caught. but it's bad that the hate speech was there were consequences for hate speech from that other guy. That was bad, but from these kids it's good. No, wait, no, though. The hate speech, getting consequences for hate speech by a person, a white guy in a position of power is bad. But arresting 2 kids is good, but also bad? I'm confused. Is this bad because the Canada we know is gone because these kids this is violating those teenagers' free speech? Or is this bad because that teenagers are making these kinds of plans? Do you guys understand why I'm confused? Like, I don't understand what he's saying. It's almost like he's not saying anything and is just expecting his audience. You know that thing that Jordan Peterson does? Where he says, like, a bunch of fucking word salad and then just expects you to impose your own position on top of it? That's why there's so many people swinging by to defend this guy, because he thinks that the people that follow this guy think that he agrees with them and is saying something, but he's not actually saying anything. Like, listen to this again.
Teenagers, one in Nova Scotia, the other in Manitoba, are accused of planning simultaneous attacks at their local high schools. Police in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia say they were contacted by the FBI and Interpol about a concerning online conversation between the 2 youth that began in February.
So 2 of them planned this at simultaneous high schools. This would have been 2 schools getting hit at the same time.
Officers searched a home in Bridgewater where they allegedly located detailed handwritten plans,
allegedly,
imitation weapons, and clothing with hate symbols. A 15-year-old from Nova Scotia is now in custody. Meanwhile, RCMP in Manitoba arrested a youth in the province on Monday in relation to this case.
This is unbelievable. The Canada we know is gone. It's long gone. And I say that because we've got stories like this. Border agency, systemic...
He said nothing. He said fucking nothing. He said 0 things. It's just so... I don't know why this is the end of Canada. Is it the end of Canada because they got arrested and their hate speech they're facing consequences for their alleged hate speech? Is it the end of Canada because they're guilty until proven innocent? Is it the end of Canada because they shouldn't be arrested at all? Is it because the conversation was even taking place? Why? What? I don't understand.
Collapse allows man found guilty of immigration fraud to walk free and sue Canada. Egregious conduct by government investigator violates Gurpreet Singh's right to fair treatment, judge rules. This is ridiculous. 40-year-old Gurpreet Singh is suing the Canadian government and employees of the Canada Border Services Agency, alleging they prosecuted him maliciously and violated his charter rights. It's the latest twist in a massive immigration fraud saga in Saskatchewan that has been winding through the justice system for many years. At the heart of the drama lies a big mistake by the CBSA. This was not a single lapse in judgment by a single individual. Justice Nahid Bardai wrote in July 2025 Saskatoon Court of King's Bench decision. This was a systematic collapse. In 2022, Bardai found Singh guilty of running an immigration fraud scheme, making fake job offer letters and providing them to would-be immigrants from India. But instead of convicting Singh and sending him to jail, they threw out the case, allowing Singh to walk free. The surprising turn of events began again moments before Singh was to be sentenced for his crimes. His lawyer asked Bandai to declare a mistrial, alleging the CBSA and the Crown withheld crucial information that might have exonerated Singh. They also claimed a lead CBSA investigator intimidated witnesses. The resulting mistrial hearing set off an unprecedented string of events, a series of bad decisions by the CBSA officials that ended up undoing their 2-year immigration fraud investigation. This is wild. All they had to do was charge this guy. They let him walk, and then they...
No, clearly not all they had to do was charge this guy. Clearly there's been a bunch of missteps. This guy's reading cadence is making me go insane. Yeah, no, his reading cadence is distracting, to say the least. Chesh, there is an H word, the V word, the A word, the P word, the S word, but now imagine you got a sentence with all of them, and the S word caused the V word with the P word resulting in A word. I don't know what we're saying anymore. Oh yeah, we know we're not going to learn anything from Moose. The thing that we've learned about Moose, and I think the thing we've proven about Moose so far, is that he's a liar, he's a bigot, specifically he's a transphobe, and specifically he's a racist. I don't know what his problem is with this, though, now.
They sue the government. Now we have to pay for this. This is stupidity on another level. Deport.
Yeah, you have to pay for it regardless. Sorry, go on.
Sue the government. Now we have to pay for this. This is stupidity on another level. Deport. Jumping over to C.
So you want to deport somebody without due process? So you don't care about the Charter of Rights? What did somebody in the chat say earlier? They said... Chuck over here said, anyone know what the criminal code or common law is? Yeah, what do you think? The criminal code or common law, just, I don't like him, deport him. He costs me tax dollars, allegedly, I'm assuming. Because it's his fault that the border agency fucked up? Why is that his fault? Yeah, they didn't follow the process. The border agency didn't follow the process. Therefore, it's the brown guy's fault. And the brown guy should get deported with zero due process because Dave is a fucking racist.
BBC, Trump has asked for help to clean out mines in the Strait of Hormuz, and all of the allies have just completely ghosted him. So we're in a situation now where...
I mean, I think they've done more than ghost him. I'm pretty sure a lot of the fucking Trump's allies and allies around the world or former allies of the United States have told Trump to go fuck himself in no uncertain terms. So saying they ghost is a little bit generous, in my opinion.
How long is this conflict going to go on? Because Israel and America have different objectives here.
Now is retired U.S. Army Colonel and Senior Faculty Fellow at the Mershon Center for International Security Studies, Peter Mansour. Peter, thanks for being here.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Give me your sense on the latest of what we're seeing, too, in the Middle East. There is a clear strategy, it feels like, from Israel going after the leaders of Iran, too, as well as...
Not a Summer Child says this Moose dude is just fanning outrage. No news distribution of any value to be found. Yeah, he's content farming. He's rage baiting. He's outrage farming to make money on his YouTube channel. That's it. But he's not adding anything of value. Like, I can look up these stories on my own. There's nothing worthwhile here.
Especially in the last couple of days, and offering up, again, not needing any more approval in order to do that with forces when they believe that they have one of those targets in sight.
However, I have been promised that he actually does have real content and real evidence and real things to say in his crazy chart. That is definitely doesn't look unhinged at all. I don't know what you're talking about. It's very, very, very normal.
What do you make, too, of those developments?
Well, regardless of what the Trump administration says are its goals in the Iran war, it's clear that Israel wants regime change. And so it's going after the top levels of the Iranian government wherever it could find them. It's also bombing the headquarters of the paramilitary organizations that protect the streets from protests and so forth. So this could be a divergence between Washington and Jerusalem based on what they want to see out of this war in the long run.
It feels like that's the way it's been heading, isn't it? Like whether they were on the same page initially with those initial strikes now almost 3 weeks ago, as we're 2.5 weeks into this conflict. But we've seen that departing, it feels like, and going separate ways in what each is going to do and trying to accomplish.
Yes, well, I think as the war progresses, the Trump administration wants to find an off ramp. And I think that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sees this as his last best chance to bring a new government into power in Tehran. That would be a very tall order. Bombing has never really accomplished that in the past. And it's not sure that it's even possible, but that's where Israel is headed. The United States, rather, would like to see the Strait of Hormuz reopened and the energy flowing again. And like I said, maybe find an off ramp to the bombing campaign.
Yeah, let's talk. Yeah.
All right, before Moose goes, before Dave says anything, one in the chat, if you think he's actually going to provide anything cogent, any argument, any statement, anything. Do you think he's gonna actually two? I haven't even said what one. I didn't even say what two was yet. All right, yeah, bricks.
Yeah, as the prices go up, the oil goes up. Donald Trump is going to be feeling it.
As the prices go up, the oil goes up? Fucking what? It's a square root of -1. As the prices go up, the oil goes up. Guys, this is why conservatives think we have never-ending oil. Because if the numbers go up, the oil goes up.
He doesn't want the price of oil to be skyrocketing because that gas increase in America, he's the one that's going to take full blame for that. I mean, the vehicles down there have already gone up like $10,000 a piece because of the tariffs. Their food inflation has gone up not nearly as much as here in Canada.
Wait, so he agrees that the inflation is bad? Okay.
But Trump does need to end that quickly, at least get America out of there. But to do that, he has to get the Strait of Hormuz opened up. Otherwise, he's still going to be blamed for it.
Talk about that too in the Strait of Hormuz. that Donald Trump has been critical of.
Guys, Donald Trump is going to get blamed for the thing he was exclusively in charge of doing.
Allies that, at least according to him, aren't joining in to order help reopen the strait to get those tankers moving. We have
if he didn't bomb the place, it wouldn't have been closed in the first place.
seen Iran too targeting some of the oil infrastructure too as well. So they're not completely defunct yet in order to still launch some of those attacks. What is it going to take in your estimation? Is it going to take other allies getting on board in order to get the strait reopened, or where are we at in that situation in particular?
Well, Donald Trump is getting an education in real time.
Some other allies have already gotten the strait open for them. For example, France.
On the importance of allies. He now realizes that doing things like threatening NATO...
I don't think I agree with this guy's assessment. I don't think Trump realizes dick shit anything.
...over Greenland and saying that the United States might not be there if NATO gets attacked has real-time repercussions. Obviously, almost every nation that's been contacted is...
Oh, look, we got another one. Jack, friend. New friend. Can you tell me one single opinion that Dave on the screen here has about anything that he's talked about in this video? Oh, we got another one. Another sun. Sunshine spelled incorrectly. Sun, can you please tell me what one point or argument or position that Dave has about anything in his own video? One, please. This is so sad because, again, I was told that this is the place where I could go to find reason and intelligent arguments, and where I could get common sense. And I haven't found one of those yet, including Moose's supporters who have come into the chat. None of them have provided fucking reasoned argumentation. a point at all. None of them have been even capable of engaging in intelligent conversation, or any conversation for that matter so far. Will Sunshine spelt wrong be able to actually answer any of these things? No, it doesn't look like it. No. Alright, what about the other one? Jax, are you going to be the one to break the mold? Are you going to be the one who's capable so far? I believe in you. Although I do like that Sunshine comes in swinging and then gets mad when that swinging fucking swings across and swings back and hits him in the back of the head. Just immediately shooting yourself in the foot. Please, we beg of you. We've been here for hours. We have yet to find a point. Lady is spelt wrong. You were spelt wrong. Delusional is spelt wrong. What is 5% of 20% of 100? Can you tell us what net zero was? Moose told us that net zero was bad. He didn't tell us why it was bad or what net zero was. Could you tell us what net zero is? No arguments, ad hom only. Yeah, that's all it ever is. That's all it ever is. Well, they say here they want an argument, they want a debate, they want common sense, but they're unable to provide that to begin with. So give me one good reason why I should even treat Dave with respect. Because he's not respectful. So is it not like a matter of you can't take what you give? Because that was one of the other son over here that came in was like, oh wow, why are you like this? And I'm like, oh wow, maybe because this guy's an asshole. Like carbon is a fundamental building block of life. Take carbon away with net zero, all plant life dies. That's what you think net zero is? You're not serious. You're not serious, right? That's not actually what you think net zero is it? No, that can't be what you. That's no, Sunshiny. No, I don't. That can't be. That cannot be actually what you think net zero is. Please tell me that's not. That can't be what you think. No. Net zero isn't as good as net classic or cherry net. Travis. Can you, if that is actually what you think, can you tell me where you got that from? Sunshine, can you? Oh no, they left. They ran away as soon as I'm like, no, come on, no, come back. Oh god, why are conservatives made of fucking snowflakes? Why is it always, they're so fragile. They're so fragile. Poor little babies. He's a poor little guy. Poor little guys. These poor little guys. Oh my god, they always run away fucking immediately. All right, go on.
They would rather not get involved in the war of choice now ongoing in the Middle East. Does the United States have the capability to reopen the strait? Yes, but probably not with the amount of power.
Probably not with the people that are in charge.
Or that it has available to it in the region. It'll have to bring in additional forces to potentially put boots on the ground on the littoral.
No. Extremists, right-wing extremists are not serious people. They are not serious people. They never have been serious people. They never will be serious people. And yeah, Honest Red is right. Weak. They're weak. Their argumentation is weak, their personalities are weak, their conviction is weak. It's all weak. That's why it's bolstered by just random bullshit. They just say random bullshit. Because they can't argue. They start off by saying, oh, this person is mental. Oh, this person is delusional. Oh, this person doesn't have enough YouTube numbers. As if any of those things matter or are demonstrated at all. They can't argue their way out of a paper bag. They don't have anything real or valuable to add to any conversation, and they almost never understand what the fuck the conversation is even about in the first place. One of them literally came in here and told me windmills are bad because they're made in China. Like, what are you talking about? And yes, I'm not talking about all conservatives. I'm not saying every conservative that's out there is like this. I'm saying all of the extremists and every single moose follower that has come in here so far has been that. So yeah, no, am I painting with a broad brush? No, I'm painting with a brush that's a little bit wide, but it's not broad. And I'm specifically talking about right-wing extremists. And that's not to say that that's exclusive to right-wing extremists. It's a precise brush.
Moral of the strait to make sure that Iran doesn't have the capability to interdict ships transiting it.
This is a spicy.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's a really good point. Jinx in the chat said, worse is that they cannot explain why they think the way they do. Yeah, they'll come in here, they'll make an accusation, and then they won't be able to explain it at all. Ever. Which basically means they've never thought about it and they're just repeating what somebody told them.
Situation, because putting a bunch of boots on the ground, if you end up with US casualties, then Trump's going to be feeling that in the polls too.
Dipshit! There are already US casualties and there's US military in the area because that's where there's fucking military bases. Are you never mind.
That'll hurt the Republican Party in general, but right now he has full support from them, but he has to get a kind of a clean win and get out of there ASAP. But obviously, as he mentioned there, that's not Israel's goal. Israel's goal is to get the regime in power out of power. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Moving ahead, we've got Wiretap Media posting this. Insurance fraud has skyrocketed because the government third world immigration plan. Staged accidents have gone up 400% in 2025. Grand theft auto fraud is up 317% since 2023, and total insurance fraud is up 141% since 2019.
I'm sorry, I gotta do it to him again. Citation needed. Where are you getting these numbers from? What's the context of those numbers? Can you please explain how?
19, costing taxpayers between $1 and $3 billion annually. This should be immediate jail time. They should have to pay off the cost of their fraud, whatever that might be, times 2 or 3. So if it's $100,000 in fraud damage or cost, then make it a $200,000 fine they have to work off in jail. Then they get deported if that's 5, 10, 15, 20 years later.
What? Insurance fraud is done by immigrants? Is that what you're saying? Because you're a bigot? If there was 100 fraud attempts and it is now 141, that is a 141% possibility. These people cannot do math, my guy. We've been over this, let alone statistics. Oh, correlation equals causation. Oh, sorry, my bad.
This is dashcam video of a car cruising along Toronto's Highway 407, and it abruptly turns and hits a guardrail. No one was injured. The driver claimed he swerved to avoid another car and looked to Aviva Insurance Company for abruptly turns and hits a guardrail.
Okay.
No one was injured. The driver claimed he swerved to avoid another car and looked to Aviva Insurance Company for a
I would go ahead and say that that footage is not enough on its own to prove one way or another because it is showing forward and not showing the side. You can't see if there was another one coming before. Believe in Jesus, rapture soon. God, please. You have any idea how great that would be? Please. 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 Insurance fraud has increased, hence why so many dash cams. I think that's a good thing. I think more dash cams is a great idea. I think everybody should have dash cams that face forward. I think you should get dash cams that face out the side. I think you should get a dash cam that faces out the back. If you don't have a dash cam, you should probably get a dash cam. Also, fuck insurance companies.
potential payout of thousands of dollars. And that's where investigator Mike Cardillo comes in.
You'll see this car right here going very slowly onto the on-ramp.
Cardillo's team checked out the highway's traffic camera system to
See,
see the
there
crash
you
from a
go.
different angle. Same guardrail crash, but there's clearly no car the driver is trying to avoid.
There you go. Well done.
But that video reveals something else unexpected.
Are you okay, conservatives, with insurance companies and the government having cameras in these places that are watching you on the 407? Are you pro this, or are you against this kind of surveillance? Because that's what this is. It's surveillance. So if you're a Moose watcher or you're a conservative in the chat, do you think that the surveillance systems, and do you think that insurance companies should have access to this surveillance?
See this car right here, he was following closely.
There is another car, but it's farther back. And as the traffic camera records, you can see the pair switch before anyone else gets there.
You get footage like that, it tells the whole story on what exactly happened.
The person making
Okay, but how did the insurance company get this footage, and should the insurance company be allowed to have this footage? Right? Because is this not overreach?
the claim wasn't even driving the car, making any claim he was injured in that crash impossible.
Talk to me about those videos. What jumps out at you as an investigator?
That's the smoking gun. In an investigation, you have the video clear as day that the individual got out of the driver's side of the vehicle, hopped into another vehicle to take off.
A staged collision to profit off a fake insurance claim, and it's hardly the only one. Take this video of a parking lot east of Toronto. A dramatic rear-end crash that sparked a claim that Aviva believed was also fake, asking the driver enough questions that they abandoned the claim.
This is outrageous. They should file a lawsuit against this. Back when I was 16 years
Why? What? Why would you file a lawsuit? This isn't normal fanfare.
old, someone rear-ended my mother like this. She had damage to her neck. It took months and months and months for that to heal. This should be charged as vehicular manslaughter or some sort of serious offense. These scumbags the liberals have led into our country, they need to be put in jail.
What the fuck? What about them are fucking... They haven't shown anything about who the driver was in either of these fucking scenarios. Why are you just assuming they're immigrants? And why are you assuming that if there was one bad immigrant, they're all bad immigrants? Hold on.
Fake, asking one. Take this video of a parking lot east of Toronto. A dramatic rear-end crash that sparked a claim that Aviva believed was also fake, asking the driver enough questions that they abandoned the claim.
This is outrageous. They should file a lawsuit against this. Back when I was 16 years old, someone rear-ended my mother.
File a lawsuit against what?
Like this. She had damage to her neck. It took months and months and months for that to heal. This should be charged as...
We're back to tactile learner. They only care or understand if it happens to them.
Like this. She had damage to her neck. It took months and months and months for that to heal. This should be charged as vehicular manslaughter or some sort of serious offense. These scumbags the liberals have led into our country, they need to be put in jail for decades, work these damages off, and then get their butts out of our country. And going back to...
My guy, 1, you're assuming that the person was an immigrant. 2, you're saying that they should be convicted and charged and detained without any due process.
This one, I have no idea why they switched drivers here. To me, it doesn't make any sense. But having this kind of evidence, put them in jail 15 years. Get your butt working. It's time to drop the hammer on these losers. Knowing the liberal government...
Assuming that they don't have jobs, by the way.
We'll just let them walk free. We've got someone in the comments here posting this. These are just some of the...
So he just provided that with zero context, zero information. We don't know who was considered like being the fake caller or who was, or like what this actual story is trying to present. So for all we know, this is a story that is about pro or like against these cameras that are like traffic cameras or security cameras that are around, and saying like, hey, this person was able to get their money from the insurance company because of these external cameras versus these people weren't able to fraud because of the external cameras, right? Like, what are you talking about? This guy didn't actually give an actual response or any kind of argument about the thing he just presented because he didn't actually even show what the fucking point of what the fucking story was saying was.
things getting caught staging fake card
Oh
theft
yeah, pure racism. There's no question about this.
and carjacking. I mean, they're all from South Asia. I mean, we see it right here. Apkarn Singh, Langsay Sharma, Senpreet Sandhu, Gurkhan Singh. Obviously none.
They have names that are foreign sounding, therefore they must be foreign. Yeah, because nobody's been born in Canada with a name that doesn't sound Canadian enough. Well, that was gross. Good. So, next time a Dave and Moose follower comes in here and they're a supporter of this guy, you can just straight up ask them why they're racist and why they're bigots. I've seen insurance fraud cases like this. They span all racial and ethnic groups. Yeah, the fact that this guy is just making assumptions. This one said that the one that he was showing on screen was charges laid after fabricated carjacking investigation, which is not the same as fucking insurance. An insurance fraud. This guy's just an asshole. This guy's just going out of his way to try to fucking be racist. He's just racist. The end. Alright. Well, I'm glad that a bunch of people who support the racist don't like me and came by to tell me how much they don't like me. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. I'm gonna get on out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. This was stupid. This guy's an idiot. I don't think we have to talk about him anymore for now. Maybe we'll look at his chart at some point, but I'll have to do that in my free time, which I barely have. So, you know, I'll probably get to it eventually. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm gonna get the hell on out of here, and I will see you next time. You want to try the line next time? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We will try again to find another fair and balanced, common sense conservative that is not a right-wing extremist. We will do our best, but I think we're gonna have a really hard time. Have a good day, everybody. We'll see you next time.
I disagree infinitely about the way that was dumb, and I hate it. And I hate it. By the way, I hate it. I think it's dumb and I hate it. And I think that it's dumb and it's stupid.